I don't know if they knew or if they were just like in heavy denial.
So they told the influencers don't be here? Because like that's pretty damning to be hey, famous people, look, we're not going to tell the normies this, but like, you're not going to want to be here. Just stay home.
That's so fucked up presents. That's so fucked up presents. That's so fucked up presents. That's so fucked up presents.
Welcome back to That's So Fucked Up Presents Feisty Festivals. That's So Fucked Up Presents is a spin-off series of That's So Fucked Up, aka TSFU, a podcast about cults, murder, and other generally fucked up stuff. In That's So Fucked Up Presents, each season is like a mini-series where we dive into a particular place or topic over the course of a month. I'm super into topics right now, so that's probably what you'll be seeing a lot of. And this season, we are talking about when festivals get feisty and not in a good way. I'm your host, Ashley Richards, and this is Feisty Festivals. And as you know, if you listen to Astro World, if you haven't, what the fuck, go listen. And you know that my co-host for this season is none other than the fabulous
Michelle Mosher?
Probably know her if you listen to That's So Fucked Up.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I guess unless you are still in the Wayback catalog and working your way through, then you might be like, who's this?
Who's Michelle?
Who's Michelle?
Yeah, because Michelle has now been here for, 6, 7 months, 8 months maybe. But yeah, Cam was here for, like 2 years. I've been very, very lucky to have some incredible co-hosts. Please subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Leave a 5-star rating if you're digging us but don't have Apple. And please leave us a written review if you do have Apple. They're so appreciated. And like I think I mentioned before, our reviews are dry like my vagina when I think about Marilyn Manson, Jared Leto, Armie Hammer, etc.
There's one thing that's going to get people to immediately go leave a review. It's that.
So please do that and go to our website, tsfuthepodcast.com. There you can find all of our socials, all of our merch, about us if you want to see what we look like. Although we're probably fucking catfishing you, because if we showed you what we look like right now, you'd be like, those bitches be lying on the about page.
Especially as I just like put this hood over my head because it's chilly. I am in a full-on Coors onesie right now.
That is incredible.
It's glorious.
Okay, well, check my outfit.
Fit check.
You ready for this?
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. That is a matching snowflake sweatsuit. We're adorable.
It's absolutely a matching snowflake sweatsuit, and it's made of the softest blanket material. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm wrapped in a warm hug, so don't be jealous or anything.
I'm pretty jealous. That sounds magical.
Marshalls, baby. Fucking
Nice.
Marshalls.
Nice.
Okay, so
now that we've done our fit check.
Yep, here we go. Michelle, I know you're not a fan of documentaries. Did you ever watch either of the Fyre-Fest docs?
I did when they first came out. So
what the fuck? You goddamn liar. You watched
like
a
1,000 years ago. And it was because I was with my ex-boyfriend at the time. So we watched them on back-to-back nights so that we could compare and contrast. I don't remember which one I liked better. I think I liked the Netflix one better. Is the Netflix one the one where the guy's actually in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
I think I like the Netflix one better.
Wait. I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, thankfully, I also don't remember that much. So this will be a nice walk down memory lane.
If there's anything from the Hulu doc that you remember that I don't mention, please feel free to throw it in.
I'll throw it in there.
So here we go. Today we are talking about Fyre-Fest, aka Dumpster-Fyre-Fest.
Nice.
So Fyre Festival was the most talked about festival of 2017, but not because anybody had a good time. It was supposed to be, quote, the festival of the decade. This is said by organizer Billy McFarland, who is a frat fuck uni dropout from New Jersey. I don't know if he was actually in a frat. He did drop out of university, but he looks like he would have been in a frat. So I just went ahead and referred to him as a frat fuck anyways. Because whether or not he was in a frat, he is a frat fuck. Let's just make that a type of person right now.
That's just who you are.
You could have not been in a frat, but if you look like you were or you act like you were, then you're a frat fuck.
You're a frat fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, when I think about when someone describes somebody as having a very punchable face, like I feel like Billy McFarland is
God.
that. He just looks like someone who's done something shitty, but like even if you didn't know that he, like the horrible things he's done, you're like, that guy looks like he has done something shitty to somebody.
And the thing is like, don't get me wrong, I fucking love nerds. I'm a nerd. But he's a nerd who thinks he's really fucking cool, like Instagram model, Ja Rule type cool, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And those, like, okay, Ja Rule, not cool at all. We're going to get into that.
And you know what? If it rhymes, it has to be true.
Uh-huh.
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Ja Rule, not cool.
Exactly.
That's the only two things I know that rhyme right now. I'm sorry, that's all I can offer you.
Tried to think of something, but I couldn't. So good old Billy was confident that he could pull off something that should have taken close to a year in 6 to 8 weeks. He's so ridiculous
6 to 8 weeks
to put on a music festival for thousands of people.
Good Lord.
I need 6 to 8 weeks to, like, I don't know, plan like a 5-day trip out of state, you know? Like,
sometimes it takes me 6 to 8 weeks to get everyone on an email thread to reply and acknowledge something.
yeah, so this guy's fucking out of his mind. We already know that. A Vanity Fair correspondent, Brian Burrow, said Billy was, quote, just stunningly ignorant of what it would take to make his promises a reality. And FBI agent John Casale added that, quote, in his own mind, he was too big to fail. Totally true. Totally punchable face.
Those are the most dangerous people. The people who are ignorant and also believe they can do anything.
Oh, yeah. The ones who are super ignorant who believe they know everything. Like, watch out. Hello, Kanye.
Okay. Yeah. Ugh.
Later this week, you guys.
Ugh.
Later this fucking week. Get ready. Wait.
I'm so embarrassed. Did you know that Instagram trend where you could go to that app and it would like make your own music festival lineup based on your Spotify?
No, I'm live under a technology rock to know anything about that.
There was this app that would create like a fake festival poster. You would give it permission for your Spotify and it would go in and look and then like build a fake lineup for your fake music festival based on your Spotify taste. And Kanye was on mine and I was like, well, that's upsetting.
You're
That's
like, God damn it.
God damn it.
We won't talk about Kanye too much right now because we're going to do that on Friday. Tuesday for patrons.
Woo.
Yeah, it's really a shame because I like a lot of his music.
A lot of his music's real
I can't listen to it now, you know? So can these artists like stop being total fucking dicks? Okay, I continue. In the media, Billy presented himself as a successful serial entrepreneur who had launched multiple high-profile companies before turning 25. Which does sound pretty impressive, right?
I feel like I have a problem because I can't. You were like, in the media, he presented himself as a successful serial. I was like, serial killer? No, I've been in true crime for too long. And that is impressive. I hadn't been an entrepreneur when I was 25.
No, you're an entrepreneur. You're in this podcast and we don't make a lot of money at all. So
you're the entrepreneur. I threw my rope onto your ship. I was like, entrepreneur me.
And I was like, come, yes.
Come, I will entrepreneur you. And I was like, thank you.
Okay, so some of Billy's earlier scams included a credit card venture called Magnesis in 2013. He sold clients an invite-only black card. It was meant to be a symbol of financial status, similar to the American Express black card, but for millennials. Basically a credit card for like fucking cool people, you know? So the credit card promised it would give access to exclusive parties and VIP events, as well as discounts at expensive restaurants and clubs for a $250 a year membership fee. Guess what, though, Michelle? Members did not get what they were promised. Shocker.
No.
They
What?
had this cool little clubhouse that you could go hang out in. I've never been into one of those fancy lounges at the airport. I imagine it was kind of like that. Oh, this is the exclusive room where there's like champagne just all the time.
Champagne everywhere.
Yeah,
But
that,
this
that
was
was
one
like
of those.
apparently what they did offer. You got, and it was like, oh, you can bring dates here. So you could be like, hey, I got this fucking card. You want to go check out the clubhouse? I'd be like,
Oh, man.
fuck yeah, can I suck your dick right now? Like, you have
Right
a
now.
Magnesis card? Oh my God. So critics pointed out that Magnesis was not a real standalone credit card and that it simply copied the magnetic strip of clients' original cards and all charges reverted back to those cards. So
Okay,
it
hold
wasn't
on.
even like its own fucking credit card. It just like piggybacked off of other credit cards and pretended to be one. I don't know. I guess I just don't understand scammers because I would never do anything like that. But why not just try to make a legitimate business? Like every fucking thing he does is a scam. It's insane.
I also love the idea that you basically just have a membership card that you're paying $250 for then at that point, because you don't have this additional line of credit. You're just,
No, it's just to be like cool and have perks.
like, just don't call it a credit card. Just call it a membership card.
Yeah, he's such an idiot. So when Magnesis started to stall due to customer complaints and defections, Billy launches Fyre Media. This is hilarious to me because I was thinking of you and I was like, okay, this gets so fucking Michael Scott Paper Company. Like it's not even funny. You know how like he's like, well, I'll just start another company, Great Scott Paper. And he has like all these company names.
Endless names.
That is fucking Billy McFarland. He's like, okay, well, if Magnesis breakdowns, we'll just start Fyre Media, and then we'll start Fyre Festival, and then we'll start VIP Access, which I'll tell you about later.
So many names.
If you fucking take one of his companies down, he will just start a new one. I don't even know how because he's not allowed. Actually, I do because he uses other people to do it for him.
Oh, of course.
But let me continue. So he starts Fyre Media, and this is supposed to be a celebrity booking app that promised to connect users looking to book musical artists like Jay-Z or Beyonce for private events with just the touch of a button.
Wow.
So you or I could be like, hey, we want Taking Back Sunday or Sophie Tucker at our company launch party one day. Through this app, you should be able to do that.
I'm really stoked that you remembered that Taking Back Sunday would be my band of choice.
Yeah, I know you know.
You know me now.
I know you. Because I know that, oh my God, I can't believe I know this. Because I know that your most prized picture is the picture with you and Adam Lazar from Taking Back Sunday.
him.
Oh my God. And if I slit my throat, the last thing I do is apologize to you for bleeding on your floor.
Basically it. You're so close.
I'm so
I'm
close,
really
you guys.
proud. I've never been happier.
And I watched all of What We Do in the Shadows. Props to me for you lately.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
This is your friendship.
It is.
I'm sorry.
It is.
I'll stop interrupting. I was just so happy.
So, yeah, this would allow just regular people to bid for artists and celebrities for their own events. And
so
he
crazy.
decided to launch the Fyre Fest as like a showy venture to promote the Fyre Media app. So he was like, okay, we got this like app. Let's do a festival to like show how fucking fire our Fyre app is.
Ugh.
So Fyre Media App Productions started in late 2016. Billy started soliciting investors to back the app and the festival. He later admitted that he, quote, made repeated misrepresentations to investors, end quote, and had lied to them about how much money he had in place to use on the festival. He told them that Fyre Media was already worth at least $90 million. He claimed that he had sold Magnesis for close to $40 million. In reality, he didn't even sell Magnesis. It's literally all smoke and mirrors with this fucker. I wouldn't trust a word that comes out of his mouth.
That's so bonkers. You can just get away with that. I mean, I guess he didn't, but like for a while
Do not
he did.
understand. He looks like such a dumbass, but you have to be kind of smart to like pull this shit off, or at least really manipulative. I don't know. So
One or the other.
let's take a quick break and we will be right back. Okay, so let's talk about the promotions for Fyre Festival. It was advertised by celebs such as Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, and Hailey Bieber, all these top models, as a glamorous, exclusive party for wealthy Instagram influencers on a deserted island. It was very much like the promotional video was like, who is this for? Like, if I go, am I going to be like hanging out with influencers and
Where
models?
are all the hot people?
Right. So that's why it's like I have a hard time feeling a lot of sympathy for the people who paid thousands of dollars to go to this festival because, like, obviously, first of all, you have to have that money. And then to be like, yeah, I want to go to this festival because, like, fucking models are going to be there. Like, we're going to go on yachts. And it's just like, dick sucking fucking cum motion, you know? Like, whatever, dude.
Dick sucking cum motion.
You know the one. I guess it's more of a hand. It's more of a hand job.
Yeah, like the jerk off, like
cum motion. Yeah, like fucking yeah.
Is that really the sound? That's the sound I just made for that. That's not attractive.
I think that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So Billy paid to fly all these fucking models on a private jet to the Bahamas for a photo shoot. The initial ads on Instagram were videos of models like sipping champagne on the beach and sailing around on speed yachts. And like, this was the actual Fyre Festival, basically, like minus the musical acts. Like the promotional shoot was Fyre-Fest. They spent all their money on the promo shoot, and so that's when the fest happened with all the influencers and models. Ja Rule, who was a fucking big part of this, and he's later like, oh no, like I wasn't co-organizer. Yeah, right, dude, you were the main fucking guy with Billy.
Which like bums me out because I mean, there's a special little piece of my heart for
the way you walked away. Right? That's Jenny from the block and Ja Rule.
What you're saying is true.
Yeah, also he wears sunglasses day and night 24/7, and like nothing bothers me a lot more than that.
His future's so bright.
But
he's got to wear shades.
Like, Jesus Christ. Ja Rule and Billy and the gang were basically just like fucking plastered on boats and shit for the whole shoot. Their slogan for the team, get this, it's so fucking lame. Here's to living like movie stars, partying like rock stars, and fucking like porn stars. Ooh!
Woohoo!
That's the lamest shit you've ever fucking heard.
Well, especially just given porn stars don't really look like they're having a good time a lot of the time. I don't think I want porn star sex life to be my sex life.
No.
Oh.
I don't even get me into the rabbit hole of how porn has
industry.
gotten increasingly more violent, and then like young men are finding porn really early and it's very violent, so they think that's what fucking sex is. Let's not go down that rabbit hole right now, because we have more to talk about here.
We got plenty, don't you
know?
So
they had this like fucking huge bonfire. Again, promotion. There's this part where like Billy told the people filming, he's like, film everything. Just like whatever. They filmed him passed out, just completely plastered in the fucking sun in the middle of the day on the beach. It's so
Billy,
weird
do
when
you
people
want
are
melanoma?
like,
because that's how you get melanoma.
It's so weird when people want their illegal shenanigans filmed. I don't understand. It's so weird. But that was like
that they're invincible.
That was his jam. So they're not even shooting a scene at one point, and Ja Rule's like, "Hey, everybody get in the fucking water." And they're like, "What? Why?" And it's nighttime, like nobody wants to go in the water. He's like, "No, come on, this is gonna be for the fucking scene or whatever, like this is gonna be sick." And like there was nobody directing any scenes at that point, like there wasn't actual filming going on. He's like, "Get in the fucking water," like, and all the models and shit are just like kind of what they were there but not really sure what they were supposed to be doing there, getting paid a lot. I'm pretty sure that Billy spent almost all of his money or their money or whatever on models and influencers to hype the festival and the promo show. So they used all the money just to like hype the festival. And then we're like, well, we'll figure it out in the next month how we actually make it happen. So Fyre Media paid numerous celebrities and influencers to flaunt the festival on their social media accounts. Kendall Jenner wasn't even at the fucking shoot and got paid $250,000 for one Instagram post.
Oh my gosh.
None of the models or celebrities who promoted the festival have faced any charges, but they have made new rules with influencers, and an influencer is just anybody with like a fuck ton of followers, right? That if you're doing some kind of ad, there has to be a hashtag or whatever that says this is an advertisement. Because like none of them did that. They posted their own fucking pics like from the shoot. They didn't make anyone aware that like they weren't going to be at the festival sipping champagne on yachts with the regular people.
The rest of the normies.
Right. And they promised all the influencers that they'd get free accommodation for the festival. And then like at the last minute, because they didn't have accommodation for literally anyone, they were like, yeah, don't come. Don't come.
Oh my gosh. Wait, so they knew it was going to be real bad.
I don't know if they knew or if they were just like in heavy denial.
So they told the influencers don't be here? Because like that's pretty damning to be hey, famous people, look, we're not going to tell the normies this, but like, you're not going to want to be here. Just stay home.
No, it was because we don't have accommodation for you. We promised you free accommodation and we don't have accommodation for fucking anybody. So don't come.
Yeah, that feels like maybe they knew that no one should have come if there's nowhere for them to stay.
They fucking knew. They should have just postponed the event. They could have pulled it together if they didn't try to do it in a fucking month. It's so dumb. So the festival was supposed to be, quote, the best food, art, music, and adventure in the Bahamas. A cultural moment created from a blend of music, art, and food. A place where the tropical sun shines all day and our celebrities ignite the night. This is an invitation to unplug, connect with something deeper, and hunt for something bigger.
Oh boy.
Michelle, you sold?
I mean,
you want to go?
At first glance, a blend of art and music and food. Those are some of the things I love.
Dude, that's such a copycat of fucking, what's it called? Burning Man, except on the Bahamas.
Yeah. And like less naked. Maybe not no naked, but just like less.
Ja Rule, like I said, was definitely a fucking co-organizer of the event, but his lawyers argued that Billy used his name and connections to promote the event. It's like, motherfucker, you are in every single video. You're the one who's doing the fucking toasts about fucking like porn stars. You're the one telling all the models to get into the water for no reason. Like, bitch, you a big part of this. Fuck
Get
off.
into the water.
Yeah, no, he was like really aggressive. Like, it was weird. So $100 million lawsuit was filed against him in May 2017 by ticket holders, but a federal judge dismissed it in July 2019, citing a lack of evidence proving he knew the event would be a disaster. Fuck that fucking judge. He's like, no, you know what? Or she, all those festival goers, fuck them and their money and their time. Ja Rule and your sunglasses, you're cool. You can keep your millions of dollars. Like, are you fucking joking?
Yeah,
I hate our fucking justice system sometimes.
That's bullshit.
He also claims that he himself was scammed by Billy and lost an undisclosed amount of money investing in this venture.
Of course.
Yeah, I say yeah fucking right to that.
He probably did invest money and he probably did lose money.
Yeah.
But also like,
I'm sure.
you were like a part of it.
No, and you even hear him after Fyre Fest. He's on a fucking call with like the whole fire production team or whatever. And he's like, look, this doesn't have to be a disaster. Nobody fucking died. We can spin this like Samsung did with their fucking exploding phones or whatever. Like he's totally, even after the fact, like, hey, no, we can fix this. So fuck you, Ja Rule, and fuck you, Judge. And let's take a quick
fuck you,
commercial
Billy
break.
McFarland.
Yeah. Oh, just obviously all the way.
Obviously, fuck
to town on that one. When we get back, we will talk about the festival itself. BRB, friends. And we're back. Okay, so the festival, get ready for this. I think this is actually, no, Astro World was crazier, but the festival sold 95% of tickets in 48 hours. I think Astro World sold out in half an
like
hour,
30
right?
minutes.
Yeah, that's insane.
So nuts.
But this one, you guys go back and listen to Astro World. And real quick, Michelle, devil worshiper, yes or no? Because I say yes.
I don't know. I'm not sold, but I knew that you would be into hearing about that conspiracy theory.
Sold.
So
I'm pretty sold.
This doesn't surprise me, but like, I don't know if I'm sold.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, again, go listen and like do it when you're not anxious, because honestly, that episode is fucking anxiety inducing.
It is a little bit.
Okay, so a few weeks before the festival, Fyre Media defaulted on a $3 million loan and a potential investment from Comcast Ventures worth $20 million fell through at the last minute. So that's $23 million. That's a
lot of money to not have.
I've never even seen like $23,000, or like if $2,300 is in my bank account, I'm like, fuck yeah. I don't
get
remember
soaked on
the last time that happened. Yeah, 230. Like,
no, 20. You give me $23, I'm gonna be like, fuck yeah.
No, same here, but 230. I'm like,
230.
fuck yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
So we're talking 23 mil. So with the lack of actual capital, Fyre Media was forced to cut corners on the luxury festival promised to thousands of attendees. I think they did a little bit more than cut corners, but we will talk about that more soon. The government said that Fyre Media only booked $57,443 in revenue between May 2016 and April 2017. So he's telling investors that he has multi-millions of dollars. This motherfucker has like 57 grand, which to us is a lot.
But like, it's not enough for what he's trying to do.
I think a fucking like fancy wedding costs 50 grand. I don't know. But
yeah.
So he represented to investors that Fyre Media had earned millions of dollars solely from talent bookings. He provided falsified documents to investors showing over 2,500 confirmed talent bookings in a single month, when in fact there were only 60 confirmed talent bookings over the entire year.
Oh no.
So he just like added 2,000.
So he just
440 bookings. Yeah, no, he's just a straight liar, pants on fire.
Ooh.
Like, this man should have a fire extinguisher at all times.
A fire extinguisher.
Yeah, liar, pants on dumpster fire.
Fire.
Billy McFarland, aka Poopy Pants. Michelle's like, no, I can't.
Actually, that one, you know what? Poopy Pants, weirdly enough, doesn't bother me. I'm not sure why, but that one didn't trigger anything.
Okay, cool.
Just kind of goofy.
He also stiffed numerous vendors who had performed work such as on-site construction, event planning, and marketing, who he had promised payment to once more investments came in, which we'll also talk more about. A-list music, they had spent they had quote, I don't know if they had that money to spend, but they had apparently spent about $4 million on the musical talent, and A-list musical artists started pulling out of the event at the last minute because they were like, you don't have what I need to put on the kind of performance that I do. These artists, Tyga, Migos, Blink-182, Major Lazer, like, they expect
a certain level of
whatever, I don't know, professionalism.
Yeah. Blink-182 is not performing in your basement. Yeah, it's like
Blink-182 is doing their last tour right now and charging like $400 a ticket starting. So yes, Blink-182 expects
a certain level of
stuff.
Yeah. Stuff.
So all of this was supposed to take place on Pablo Escobar's island, or one that he used to own. So it's like, oh, cool. Like a fucking famous drug trafficker and murderer. Like, yay. Let's party on his island. But somebody else owns the island now, not Pablo Escobar. He was like, do not mention Pablo Escobar because I don't want the island associated with him anymore. The first fucking promotion they did, they're like, come to Pablo Escobar's old island and party with models. So immediately he's like, yeah, you can't use my fucking island. Fuck off. So they start like searching other Bahama islands because now their fucking island, they don't have it. So they don't have a space now for their festival. No. Like weeks out.
Oh no.
They're able to rent space or whatever on Exuma, this other island in the Bahamas. It's one of the biggest. But their festival was the same weekend as this big regatta, which is like a sailing event. And on that weekend on Exuma, the island population doubles in size because so many people are there for the regatta. So they got onto this other island, but it's like already completely over fucking booked.
Seats taken.
It's so funny. It's just crazy. So this shit started playing out in real time on social media. Distraught and disappointed ticket holders were asking questions. Hey, I'm supposed to fucking leave in a few days or like a week. Like, what airport am I doing? Or like asking super basic fucking questions. And they just kept going, thanks for contacting us. Please reach out to fucking fyre@media.com or whatever. And then they started deleting the negative comments. Because It didn't look good. And they were getting so many fucking complaints that like this email that they were sending people to, those people on the other end of the email were like, didn't even know what to fucking do because Billy's just like drunk in the Bahamas. Like, it's gonna be fine, you guys. Well, his whole team is having like daily panic attacks because it's all just a shit show, just a dumpster fire. They get there and, the guests start arriving and this starts playing out in real time on social media. Like people are posting pictures and videos of everything that's happened. All these people are getting bussed in to literally what looks like a fucking refugee camp. And I would have probably screamed this too, but the way she said it just like made her sound really like Valley Girl and dramatic or something. So it was really funny because she was like, turn this bus around right now. Like,
oh no.
That probably would have been me too. I would have been so scared.
Turn it around.
But it was funny. So they all get funneled to this restaurant and they're waiting for hours and hours. And there's fire team just like pouring liquor down everybody's throats, trying to distract them from the fact that like they're not allowed to go check out their accommodations or anything. They're like, you're just going to stay right here.
Here, take these shots.
Eventually, Billy stands up on a table and he goes, anybody who has a villa, go grab a tent. I guess fuck the tent people. The villa people, they're not getting a villa. They're getting a tent. And I guess fuck the tent people. Also, all of their luggage comes in on 2 18-wheelers, has no form of being sorted out. Like just big pallets of black bags come out. Oh, by the way, it's pitch dark. So people are trying to find their one black bag in thousands of bags. Billy yells, go grab a tent. So these fucking idiots, obviously, I guess there wasn't like water to grab, but like one bitch grabbed like a whole pallet of pillows because you need that, right? You fucking dumbass. Somebody else grabbed like a whole pallet of toilet paper. Why? Like people are... See, they're so dumb. I have a hard time.
Also, this is the kind of mentality where, like, if everyone just shared, then everyone would have been better off. But instead, it's like, I gotta get whatever I can. This is my toilet paper.
I need 30 pillows. Why? I don't know, but okay.
Maybe that's the only way she can sleep at night. Surround herself in a pile of pillows.
And a bunch of Xanax because she's, like, rich and stupid. Was that too much?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I just, like, really do. I feel bad for the experience that these people went through because it seemed like hell.
Yeah.
Also, if your like fucking goal in life is to go hang out with models on yachts and post about that on Instagram, then and you have the funds to do that, then I don't like we're not really on the same level in life.
I feel the worst for the people who like this was a financial stretch and then it turned out to be.
They were like, all right, you know what? Like, this looks really cool. I've always wanted to go to the Bahamas. Blink-182 is going to be there. Yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of people who were like, okay, like, if we put our funds together, we can share a tent or whatever, you know? Yeah. So, okay. Like,
we don't feel bad for Kylie Jenner or like the Kylie Jenners of the world.
P.S. Kylie Jenner definitely fucking took off before all of the madness started happening. I found that out.
At Astroworld?
Yeah. So, like, bitch knew that shit was going down and peaced out. Just FYI. Tickets cost up to $100,000 for like the villa package. Yacht packages were up to $250,000. But guess what, Michelle? Do you think they had yachts for people?
I bet there's no yachts.
No yachts. No yachts. So they're like selling fucking, also these like luxury tents that are supposed to be like, you know, when you see like cool like fucking yurts and they're like all luxurious and cool, like that's what they were promised. They get there and they literally were using the tents that were left over from a refugee camp, like actually. And then they had like mattresses on the floor, and the day before the festival, it fucking rained. So everything in the tents was soaking wet. Guests were promised a flight from Miami in a private jet. It was literally like a 787 or one of the big planes, and they like slapped a fire sticker on the side somehow. I don't even know.
Just a big magnetic decal.
Yeah, basically, I think.
Put it over the Southwest part.
Yeah, put it over Southwest. They were promised yoga and kayaking, local seafood, Bahamian-style sushi, and even a pig roast. Yeah. And I think, let's take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'll tell you what they got. Okay, friends, we are back.
Okay, so I will say they could still have had yoga. You can do yoga anywhere.
Well, it was really funny because like one of the guys who was on the fucking main team was understandably like freaking out and was like, hey guys, shit's really hitting the fan here. And Billy goes, well, at least they'll still get to see your smiling face for yoga. And he was like, okay. Like, because he was still thinking like he'd probably get paid for his work or whatever, you know, which a lot of employees did not. So
call me crazy. That seems reasonable.
Yeah. The picture that like blew the shit up hardcore was like this kid with like 400 followers. And he posted a picture. You probably have seen this. It's a styrofoam box. And in it is like 2 slices of bread with American cheese and a slice of tomato and like a piece of lettuce, like wilted
Gourmet
lettuce.
meal.
Yeah.
It's just Bahamian style sushi.
Yeah, this is what it is.
That's all it is. You just didn't know.
People started really making fun of all the attendees. Like in this doc that I was watching on Netflix, they were showing memes that people had made. And one showed like a woman like running in horror. And it says, we were promised arugula.
Oh,
it would have been better if it said like, we were promised avocado toast.
Yeah.
That would have
really hit the
millennial base.
Hit the nail on the head. But oh well, next time there's a failed festival for millennials.
Yeah. So like I told you, it was like a disaster tent city. There was a guy from the team who took his wife to stay in one of the tents to like see how it would be. He was like, hey, team, think the tents are a bad idea because without air conditioning, they're incredibly hot and super noisy. And they're like, you know what? It's been great having you, but I think you should go now. Like anybody who was not on board with their fucking shenanigans, they were like, bye. Billy was like, we're not a problem-oriented team, so it's like, no, you are. Boy. That's all you are is a giant problem. So
you are a problem.
You're the problem. Thousands of people, like I said, were scrambling to claim this limited number of tents. One guy, I can't believe he fucking admitted this on the documentary because like it just made him sound like the biggest fucking asshole in the world. He said, we didn't want neighbors, so in surrounding tents, we just like destroyed them. We peed on mattresses.
What?
We just totally fucked them up. Why would you tell anyone that you're such a piece of fucking garbage? Like you went and peed on mattresses because you didn't want neighbors when like there's not enough accommodation for the people at all anyways. By the end of the first night, all of the tents were full and only a third of the guests had arrived.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And let me guess, they weren't telling them to turn around and not come.
No. The event was still on and popping, dude.
Yeah. They were there for smiling face yoga.
One like blogger and podcaster named Seth Crosno said that he found a notebook on the ground that had listed the things organizers were like supposed to order, and it said 6,000 packs of Skittles, 9,000 glow lollipops, and he said, quote, did anyone think about planning the actual festival? It's like,
more
we'll have
Skittles.
models and Skittles and lollipops that glow. Who cares if none of the fucking musical acts or food are there? Yoga.
Yeah, there's no accommodations, but yoga and Skittles.
Yeah. For $100,000. Lamon L. Galal described the island experience as, quote, the worst 27 hours of my life. She said, quote, it ended up being the closest thing to war I've ever seen. There was no food, no water. As soon as it got dark, it was not a safe place to be, end quote.
Oh.
And another guy said that once the sun went down, the camaraderie was over. People just went straight Lord of the Flies style, like day one.
It definitely makes you think about what, I mean, I guess the pandemic also taught us a lot about like what people do in times of crises. And turns out there are good people in this world, but man, a lot of the human race is real shitty.
Don't even get me started because I'm so disappointed in all of us.
I know. There are so many people in this world who just would do literally anything to have basic comforts and don't give a shit about anyone else's well-being. And that's sad to me.
We're going to extinct ourselves, like probably not in our lifetime, but in the next few generations.
I think
the human race is going down. Like I have no faith.
Yeah.
And that's our positive message for the day.
Wow,
Don't trust anyone. Have faith in nothing.
Nothing. We're all going to be extinct from ashes
all
we
fucked.
came and to ashes we shall return or something.
So the festival was officially postponed after reports of no security and canceled flights. People trying to get back home were having a lot of trouble because of the whole luggage situation and shit. Like they were missing their passports and their luggage.
Oh, no.
They had no way of contacting anyone or charging their fucking phones because like there were no outlets anywhere. For some reason, the people waiting at the airport for flights, they just locked them in there for like 24 hours. I guess because they were trying to like sort what the fuck was going on out. I don't know. Lots of people in the airport and they're like, yeah, we're just going to fucking chain these doors. Also, there's not really food or water here, but we'll try to get you on a plane.
Boy.
So Seth Crosno, who I mentioned above, documented his return flight experience tweeting, quote, "It's 3:47 a.m. Been on the runway over 2 hours. We've had to ration the Chex Mix. Please send help."
We've had to ration the Chex Mix. Oh, no. They're like, look, everyone, you get one rye chip. I'm sorry. There are not enough rye chips to go around. Everyone gets one.
I know nobody wants the fucking brown Chex. I know everybody wants the little white one. Or is it the opposite? I don't even know. I haven't had Chex Mix in a long time.
You know, honestly, it's nobody wants a fucking pretzels. Like,
okay, I love
this
the
is how I'm
pretzels.
gonna know.
I love pretzels.
I was just about to say, this is how I'll know I've met my soulmate, because I'll open a bag of Chex Mix and he'll say, no, I don't want any of the rye chips. Give me all the pretzels. And we'll look at each other's eyes and I'll be like, this is it. This is true love. But then you just said you love the pretzels. So Ashley, is this it? Is this true love?
Are we soulmates?
I think we might be soulmates.
I think so.
There we go.
Don't worry
Glad we
though.
solved that.
Emma, shout out to Emma. She's our head audio engineer. She's a fucking boss. And she's my twin flame. So not to be confused with soulmate. I don't want to upset Emma right now by agreeing
want
to
her
be your
to
soulmate because...
Especially because we've seen what happens when twin flames go bad. So
yeah.
Don't want that.
No. But me and Emma, I feel like we're pretty safe twin flames.
Yeah.
Although I did like fly to England and just randomly look in her windows when she was sleeping and stuff. So is that, I don't know, is that weird? I just feel like that's twin flame shit. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, you're totally fine.
All right. Do you want to hear about the aftermath of this
Always.
dumpster fire? So let's talk about the effect of the investors, because I kind of feel like they're the least important. The failure and misrepresentation of Fyre Festival / Fyre Media cost investors more than $26 million. That was not just one person, it was multiple investors.
Multiple people, but that's a lot of...
But holy fuck, for literally nothing to happen, or actually a terrible thing to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
The effect on his coworkers. Get this. So this like good friend of his who had fucking like helped him financially was just a fucking rock. He calls him up and he says, hey, the Ministry of Tourism isn't going to let us have the water that we need. Can you take one for the team and suck his dick? Then he'll give us the water.
Oh, no.
This guy goes, I never thought I'd be in this position, but I changed my clothes. I put in some mouthwash and I was ready to suck dick to save this festival. But he said, I don't know if this is true. He said that the Ministry of Tourism laughed and was like, you don't have to do that. Like, I'll give you the water. But I don't know. Like, he might have had to suck some dick. Who knows? Like, I probably wouldn't fucking admit to it. So
I know that this is normal in other countries, but whenever I hear the Ministry of, it just makes me think of Harry Potter. The Ministry of Magic.
The Ministry of Magic said, you must suck our dicks.
You suck the dick to get water.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
His employees obviously felt totally betrayed. They had just been bombarded by him and clients and investors and festival goers and had no support from Billy. They weren't fucking getting paid, or they were getting paid less than they were supposed to. Like their paychecks were constantly wrong. And they felt like, because, you know, companies do this like thing, and I guess we do that as a podcast too, though, but like where it's like, okay, like we're a family, so we should stick together, you know? And they felt like they were part of this fucking Fyre family, and then they felt super betrayed. Multiple employees put thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars on their personal credit cards, which guess what? They are still paying off on their own.
Yeah, not surprising.
One guy said that he put, God, I think it was like $200,000 or something.
Jesus.
Crazy. That's not even like a rich investor. You know, that's just like a guy. But I guess you have to be doing pretty well to have a $200,000 credit limit because mine's like $6,000.
That's true.
But whatever.
He's clearly never missed a payment and has a decent income.
Yeah.
Also, credit card companies are very predatory and will give you higher limits than you could afford to have.
Completely fucking unacceptable to make your employees feel like they're family. Oh, hey, lend me this, whatever. Like, we'll totally get it back to you once the ship pops off. A lot of the creators of the festival, like organizers, people who are, you know, on the team, knew that shit was looking really bad, but were trying to stay optimistic because they had worked really hard and they obviously didn't want it to fail, you know?
Yeah.
But once shit started popping off, there was a villa that was the team's headquarters, and locals, festival goers, the head of fucking tourism and this and that started legit going after them. They all were fearing for their lives. So all of them, included Billy, just fucking took off. They like went to Billy's place and it was just fucking empty. He had cleared out and like,
oh my
peaced
God.
out.
That's a bad sign.
I think the effect on the people of the island is by far the most devastating. There were hundreds of day laborers who worked in the hot sun, backbreaking work for a month and never got fucking paid. One restaurant owner used $50,000 of her own life savings catering this festival because all these fucking starving kids are like, hello.
No.
And she's crying in the documentary. She's like, I'm just so hurt. I don't like to talk about this. She didn't say she was angry. She wasn't raging. She was just holding back tears. She was, I'm so hurt by this. And that just,
that's horrible.
That hurt me.
Yeah, that's horrible.
When everything fell apart, like I said, everybody left. She was left dealing with fucking everything. And of course, not Ja Rule, not fucking anybody has tried to make any restitution to her or anyone in the Bahamas because they're pieces of shit. And it was like a miserable fucking experience for all of these Bahamian locals, as well as all of these people who fucking paid to go there.
Yeah.
And the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism apologized to festival goers on behalf of the nation, even though it wasn't their fucking fault at all.
Please don't be mad at the Bahamas. We're sorry.
We didn't
Please
do
come
it.
back.
It was this
We didn't
Billy
do
guy.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take one more quick commercial break and we will be back to wrap up the aftermath for Billy Fuckface. And we're back. So Billy pled guilty in 2018 to several counts of fraud relating to the festival, but also to other scam ventures he had created.
Oh.
One count of wire fraud in connection with a scheme to defraud investors in a company controlled by McFarland, Fire Media / Fyre Festival. One count of wire fraud in connection with his operation of a sham ticket scheme, NYC VIP Access, which I will tell you a little bit more about. One count of bank fraud for wiring a check with the name and account number of one of his employees without authorization, and one count of making false statements to a federal law enforcement agent. Then he actually had to plead guilty twice, once on March 16th, 2018, and once on July 26th, 2018, because prosecutors found that he was running another ticket selling scam that he set up while he was out on bail.
No.
So like I mentioned, I think they already had like a little bit of word about NYC VIP Access, or maybe, no, I guess it was in this second trial or whatever that he got in trouble for the NYC VIP Access.
Ugh.
So, NYC VIP Access offered tickets to high-profile events like the Grammy Awards, the Met Gala, all these amazing things, despite these tickets not existing. Like, you could Google, like, tickets to the Grammys or whatever, and, like, immediately find out that these things don't exist.
Oh, boy.
A pair of victims actually flew from Florida to New York for the Grammys, only to be turned away at the door. They're like, yeah, like, why do you think you get to be here?
So you just show up at the Grammys. You float across the country. You probably told all your friends and family.
Oh, yeah.
You bought a gown.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
get there and they're like,
Who are you and why are you here?
you can't just come to this.
That reminds me of this one time when I was like in my early 20s in LA, and this girl was like, I can get you on the list into this club. And I was like, oh, cool. And then we went to the bouncer and we were like, we're on the list. And he was like, well, you still have to wait in line, which didn't make sense to us. But then we went to the back of this like really long line and waited for, I don't know, maybe half an hour, and it had barely moved. And me and my sister were like, fuck this. And in our club outfits, we went to the dive bar across the street. So
Honestly, I support that.
right?
I bet you probably had more fun at that dive bar than you would have had in that club.
Because I doubt the people in that club would have been my scene. Also, I was wearing a dress that like was tube top and
classic.
like tight on the top, but then like kind of flowy to the knees on the bottom. And I looked like a cupcake. And in my mind, that was really cute, but I don't necessarily think it was like LA clubbing attire. What did I know? What do I still know?
We wore a lot of things in the early 2000s that, like, looking back, I was looking
I had
back
these
at
like
pictures.
weird teal shoes too that remind me of Minnie Mouse now. I was like, what is happening?
I bet you were adorable.
I probably was, but no, I had braces at that point, which actually, let me tell you, was so gross because I got hit on a lot more when I had braces versus not, like by dirty old men. Ew.
Oh, yeah.
Anywho, let's finish up with Billy.
Let's finish Billy off. You get a look in your eye when you're about to tell me something good. You get this very specific face that makes me very excited to hear what you're about to say. It comes out every once in a while and you just made it.
They use the fucking Fyre-Fest email list to target these people with the NYC VIP access.
Oh.
They're using
So the
their
people
list
he
of
just
victims
scammed
to try to re-victimize them. One guy read literally 8 fucking invitations that he had gotten, and it's like, reach out back to me. And at the end of everything, it says Frank. Who's Frank? We don't know, but it's definitely not Billy, right?
Uh-huh.
So Frank's like this 20-year-old fucking kid, and he's like the face of NYC VIP access,
Frank.
which is a fucking thing that sells fake tickets. So they found out about that, and they're like, dude, what the fuck? Seriously?
Come on, Billy.
Yeah.
Chill out. Calm your tits, Billy. Just stop scamming people.
Seriously. So he apologized during his sentencing. Yeah, right. Saying his actions were a result of his, quote, fear of letting everybody down, which they probably were, but they were also the product of him being a total fucking dumbass who was only concerned with his own well-being. The judge called Billy a serial fraudster and said that he has been dishonest for most of his life, which fucking sounds pretty true.
Uh-huh.
They reached a settlement with the SEC that agreed to a lifetime ban on Billy ever serving as a director or officer of a public company. In a statement announcing the settlement, the SEC noted that McFarland, quote, used investor funds to bankroll a lavish lifestyle, including living in a Manhattan penthouse apartment while he was on bail, partying with celebrities, and traveling by private plane and chauffeured luxury cars. I don't even understand, like, how do you not have any money and then just, like, get all that money? It blows my mind.
Oh, that fucking guy.
Seriously. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison, served 3.5. What a fucking surprise.
Of course.
He's supposed to pay $27 million back to investors, but guess what? If you don't have that money to pay, then you don't pay
You
it.
don't have to pay it.
During his time in prison, he served time in several different states. In New York, he worked at an overnight sewage treatment plant, which I enjoyed. Before he was transferred, he was held in the SHU, aka Special Housing Unit, aka solitary confinement.
Oh. Oh. You just made so much of Orange is the New Black make sense to me now. I never realized why they called it the SHU.
The SHU, Special Housing Unit, it's solitary confinement. And
Got
like I
it.
talked about in the Khalif Browder episode, I think it's episode 32. Great episode, really upsetting. Because people are locked up for 23 hours a fucking day with like little to no sunlight by themselves. They end up like losing their goddamn minds. And so much
Absolutely.
self-harm goes on and it's really fucked.
Ugh.
When he was in Ohio, he contracted COVID and applied for compassionate release. Fucking idiot. But they denied that and sent him to an isolation room with 160 other COVID positive prisoners, as they should. Like, why the fuck would he get released? Stupid ass.
Release me. I have this sickness.
I have COVID like everybody else. Can I go home?
Can I go home? Can I
wanna
go home
to
from
my
prison,
penthouse.
please?
So today he's 30 years old, out of prison on supervised release. Billy is trying to appear apologetic and does freely admit that he was wrong. He said, quote, just really should have canceled everything and just stopped lying. It's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
But like also when people admit to being wrong, I just always feel like it's a PR stunt to make them look better. He said that he learned in prison that he should not take pride in getting things done rather than how things got done, but should instead focus on building relationships throughout the process. Barf. And guess what? He has recently announced on TikTok that he's that he's organizing a new festival called Pyrt. P-Y-R-T, pronounced
Billy,
pirate.
no.
And this is a virtual festival.
Oh, gross.
And that's that. Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat.
That's all for now, brown cow.
See you later, alligator.
In a while, crocodile. That's how we'll end the show because we don't even know what we say. Don't go to festivals. I want to go to more festivals.
Me too.
But I'm scared.
Yeah, just go to reputable ones. Don't do anything that Billy McFarland runs.
Yeah.
And question Live Nation.
If VIP access or Frank show up in your inbox, definitely spam that shit and report it.
Ignore Frank.
And if you go to the virtual pirate festival,
Let us know if you go. I'd love to hear about it.
if anybody goes to this festival, question your decisions, but please let us know what we would love to hear. What goes on at Pirate?
At least it's virtual, so you can't get stranded on an island with only bread and cheese.
But you can mosh in your living room alone, like Michelle Mosher.
Like me. All day.
Okay, so actually, literally, I have to go to therapy. Everybody should go to therapy. You guys know that I'm a big fan, and I think everybody should go. So we love y'all. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Follow us at TSFU, the podcast. And have a good one. And goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's so fucked up, that's so fucked up. So fucked up, that's so fucked up.